And welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now today I'm going to look at a program called Writing Helper. Now this helps you to actually plan so you can work out the question, the concepts, then structure it, then gather your sources for your research, then put those research into required positions within your paragraphs, sub-paragraphs, then review your work and then publish it with your bibliography. It helps you with every step as you build your essay or assignment or dissertation down the line. But you can also incorporate mind mapping with it. I'm going to use Inspiration 10 in this demonstration to show you how you can quickly brainstorm your essay, then bring in the structure to carry on working within from the structure phase. So let's get stuck in. So when you start, you have to enter your project information. So I'll put my name there. I've also put the title, what is the most common form of heart disease. I've put a short title, cardiovascular disease, and then your word count. Now, if you're not happy with any of those word counts, tap in here and then you put whatever word count you want in. I just put 1500, but I won't be covering that today. Start date, and then come to the right here, your due date. So when you need to turn in your assignment. So we'll leave that because it's not relevant, but you don't have to fill that in. It's a good idea so you can keep focused on when you have to turn in your work. Let's go to the question. So we've now got the question at the top. Now some people just dive straight in with the question, start bullet pointing their ideas, which is fine. Why not break down the title first and the concepts within your question? Because it's quite easy to oversee that. Oh, and also if you want, if you're not happy with the title, see here, look at instructional verbs, open that up and it shows you some verbs you can use. But also if I click on them, also gives you a quick definition of those verbs. So if you want to change the verbs within your title, you can do that quickly and efficiently. But what I work on here is consider your open concepts within your question. So I'm looking at that question, and the first one will be, what do I mean by what? How am I going to elaborate on what within the question? Then I might look at and go, what might be the common things I'm going to look at in the forms of heart disease? And then I might come here and highlight heart disease. And you can see at the bottom, it now says consider your open concepts. So now I'm going to brainstorm those ideas in a mind map. You can skip this if you want to go straight to the structure option. But I want to show you people that do like to mind map. If I come to the right, select create map, it will bring a built-in one you can use online. But today, I'm going to close that. I want to work with another program called Inspiration 10. And here we go. We are now ready to brainstorm some ideas. So I'm going to select diagram, outline or map. I won't go into depth on the inspiration. I've got separate videos on this if you look at my YouTube channel. I just want to give you the concepts of integrating it into Writing Helper. So first I need my title. Now I've got my question, which I had in Writing Helper initially. Now I'm going to look at that and I need to elaborate on my concepts. Now look at the concepts words that I use. If I go back again, I've got what common heart disease. So from here, I've got an option. It says rapid fire. Now, I could use with links, so it actually connects to the main question, or without links. I'm going to use that as a demonstration. So my first concept was what? Just click the enter key. And again, I'm going to type another one, which was common. And the last one, I'm just going to do for now as a demonstration, was heart disease. And there we go, tap off that. So now I can put them in the order I want. I put what there, heart disease there, and common there, just for the moment. Now I've got no link there, so now I can link them. So these little links in the middle, hold the left button and drag. Again, click on the middle and do the same with the other two. A quick point here, it's good to work clockwise. Okay, and I'll show you that in the outline view in a minute. By the way, if you want the actual connection between them, you can click the little option in the link and do a right click. You've got loads of linking phrases there to help you. And you come here, it even gives you a lot more there. But what I'm going to do here, I'm going to grab this out a little bit. Let's now elaborate on the first part concept of my question, what? So I could brainstorm off of that, and I'll do that quickly for you as an example. Go back up to rapid fire, but this time do it with links. And I'm just going to type in there. I'm just going to put statistically in there. Click on that and drag that to the position you want it in. And again, you can click back on that, break that down again on the concept of the word what and what you want to approach as part of your question. Statistically, I could then come up here, add a text note, and do a little bit of research and find out which is the most common form of heart disease. And I think it's coronary. And there we go. What we'll do quick, I'm going to create a spelling error in there just to show you this quick. If you do a right click on a word, you can quickly change the spelling. Save you time, so if I right click on that. Now I'm going to close that little note. By the way, you can drag this note where you want to position it and close it. I can access it any time by tapping it and opening it up again to carry on working. I want to close that. I want to go to my second paragraph, if you like, a topic. Now I'm going to break that down into two. Now instead of going up here all the time, you could come up to the left, select create, which direction. Shortcut key is hold the left button on your trackpad or mouse while holding control, and that's a great shortcut for you just to put in two subtopics you want. Actually, I'm going to add a third one. So heart disease. Let me put in types of heart disease. I think there might actually be 4, so I'm going to add another one there. Then go to the next one. And last of all, this is kind of general, not going into depth or anything. So I'm going to do a right click on arrhythmia. It's a good effort, nearly made it, didn't I, with the spelling. Then what we can then do is highlight that. So if I highlight it all, come to the bottom and choose the colour coding you want. Again, you don't have to do this. So I'm probably going to make that red. And again, I won't do them all, but you can highlight information here and colour code it if you wish, just to separate your topics. Or even a better option if you want, if I click on heart disease, look for a bit of clip art on the heart, and you can pop that in there as well if you wish. So I started to brainstorm ideas, and I can click on all these and add additional notes at the top here. Start building on my initial brainstorming on the concepts of those words that I want to work with. What you do quickly, top left, come to outline. This is how your work will look from the mind map in outline view. So look at this linear format. And you can even click into here, so you might want to elaborate on coronary heart disease, or for example, heart failure disease, then you could add a note here, and then that will attach itself to the map. So I'm going to go back to diagram, and I have a quick point here, really important about structure. So you look at this and decide, actually, I'm going to move this. That's not my first idea. I'm going to move this down here, and then move all them up there. So I want, this is my main one, and then you can put them into position you want. And you can move these positions around if you want, because you want to go, actually, I want to talk about that first and that last. Now watch, just drag this down. Now have a look at my first one now is heart failure. If I go to outline, nothing's changed. So it's important whenever you change your map round, or move it, or position it at all, that you use this button here, sync. Now it should be now in outline view as heart failure, which it is. Now I won't go more into mind mapping. That's just a quick idea if you want to get into mind mapping. Now once you've finished, I want to bring this into Writing Helper. So select File and Export. Now you can export it directly to Dropbox if you want, but I'm going to save it specifically to this disk, which is my hard drive. I'll just call this Heart. I'm going to save this in my download folder. And now I can open up Writing Helper. So now I've worked on my concepts from my title, I can now go to structure. Now you can see I've got no structure, but I've created some in the mind map. So now top right, select import. You can import Claro ideas, that's online based mind mapping. Mind view, which is another good mind mapping, and inspiration. So I'm using inspiration today, but you can use either of them. tap on it, select import. So if I find that file, which is in my download folder, now I've got some structure to work with. So if I select insert into structure, I can see which is my first paragraph or topic heart disease, which I broke down into subcategories. And you can see how these are shorter. That depicts that they are subcategories or sub-paragraphs of your main title. Remember, hold the left button. If you want, you can still drag them around into position where you want them. And you can click on them here and decide, actually, I don't want that. So we'll click on that. You might go, do I want that as a sub-paragraph? Then you go, maybe not. I actually want that as a full paragraph, not a sub. So if I tap that, outdented, and then all the rest go underneath. So you can play around with sub-paragraphs if you want as well. Also, quick point in here. Once you're structured, come here. You've got your add task option. So you might go, I want to go to heart failure and select a little tick here. And you've got a new task to work with that. So you might go, there you go. And you can tick that when it's finished. So just that little task that you need to do underneath each topic if you want. So you've got your structure. So I'm happy with that. Anything you don't want, click down here and you've got the delete button so you can send it to trash. Now we can go to the sources option. So I having everything structured, you brainstormed it, you've done your concepts of words earlier on, you've even changed the verbs if you needed to. You now need to do your research and start sourcing some of your work. So what we'll do here, I've downloaded a journal already from Google Scholar. So if you find a journal online, I think it's best to download it first and then tap on here, we can then upload it. Let's have a look at hypertension. So I've uploaded it. What this does with websites is where it converts it into a PDF format for you to work with. Now that's all good because it enables you to do a couple of things. Number one, it's in the top here. We can start highlighting information, then putting them into how we structured them earlier. So we can put research information, stuff you want to cite, source information. Before you do anything though, see to the right here, there's the source. See the little eye, caution option, click on it. It's telling me so far it does not know what that source is. If I move that over, as you're already probably aware with, it's important that you reference correctly whatever you're doing. So let's go journal, and then we can do a search. We need a title, so I'm going to close that a sec. So I'm just going to highlight, see what we get the whole title, Control C. If you can't find the information, just put them in manually, but make sure you put them in. So I'm going to click search and Control V and search. Now I'm not going to go through them all because there are quite a few sources down if I go down, and you can load more and more. So I'm just going to grab anything for now as an example because I'm not actually citing it. So I'm going to tap on that and select. Then check that everything's correct. And if you need to add additional authors, select the plus option here and you can add additional authors. But I know I sound like a broken record, referencing is so important. So check between Harvard, APA, Chicago, or School of Law, whatever you're doing. So I'm going to save that and close it. See, it's turned to a tick. Now I'm happy with that, so I can come down and go, right, I'm ready to source some stuff. But where do I want to put some of my source information? Let's start with heart disease. Don't about the sub-paragraphs under heart disease because you can drag them in. Once we go to the next option, I'll show you snippets. So I'm just going to highlight imaginary quote here, tap it. And you see it's color coded it. Scroll down a bit more and there's something else I want, but I might actually decide I want that in that section. And again, tap it. I might go back up here, but actually I want that as well in my what section. Then last of all, common forms of heart disease. I'm going to select that. I like that green actually. You can zoom in and out with these options as well if you want. So now I'm breaking down information that I want. Now come up to the top source, that will list all your sources, so always make sure you filled in any criteria that was missed. These are the highlights, what I've highlighted, and you can even type in keywords, looking for keywords within that article as well. Then I decide actually there's a website that I also want to look at and maybe cite. And use this option here and Control V to paste. Click open and it should import in as a PDF into your writing helper. Now I'm ready to grab information and highlight it. So come up the top and again, heart disease, I might just highlight that paragraph there. and again colour code it. I won't do loads, and again let's just do the second one, which is what, and again highlight the information you want. There we go. Now look on the right, got my highlights here. If I go to source, remember what I said before, there's the first source we looked at. The second one, just check it's not missed anything, and you can see it has. Now it's important on websites you check if there's an author or not. Now bear in mind there's no author. Check with your library, especially with Harvard, then you have to put in the website name, organisation. If there's no author, don't leave it blank. Look for a publisher if there is one, and publish date. And also make sure assess date, that's really important. Let's have a quick look. I won't go through the whole lot. So then you could add that information in and also scroll down to see if there's a date at the bottom. And we could use 2004 to 2022. You're probably better off just putting 2022. So always add that information in here. Right, that's two sources I've got to work with. Now go back to highlights. Now if I go to the next section on the left, snippets, you can see on the right there's nothing in there, but we're going to send those sources to the snippets section. So you can start organising and your research. So what we do is, you can move them all by using this option. So if I select move all, it's done. And if I go to sources, then click on the first source, highlights again, and I can move them all. So I've now moved all the sources I highlighted to the snippets option. And you can now see where they are. Look. They've only gone to the main paragraphs, but that's when you can drag them into position. Hold the left button and just drag them underneath the subparagraph that you want to use them in. I've just pulled them into anything for the moment as a demonstration. And again, you just drag them in where you want them. Let's drag that down as well. And scroll back up. Now once you've done that, it's important you come to this option here. Again, make sure you've missed no citation data. We've got an option here where it says you must be reworded or marked as a quote. When you're referencing, you can paraphrase information in your own words, which a lot of lecturers prefer you to do, because it shows you understand what you've read and what you're trying to say. But it's a skill to paraphrase. It's something you will learn as you go on. But come to the right. Now I can look at that. We've got a couple of options. See here what it says at the end here. But use the insert citation button elsewhere if you are paraphrasing or summarising. So it's important you cite your work. Yeah, so I'm going to grab that as an example. Say you're doing an essay. I'll just copy it there. Control C. I'm going to paste it into here, where then I can work with it and paraphrase it. Control V. So you could click on the beginning and carry on with part of your first paragraph on coronary heart disease. So if I tap here, and as you type, you say, actually I need to cite my work now, and I've added that quote. And again, if you need to paraphrase it, paraphrase it. I'm just going to change that to, but I won't paraphrase that all for now. We're getting the idea with that. So at the end, I'm now going to select Insert Citation. And there we go. See, they turn green, so you can work your way through all your references that you want to use. And anything you don't want, you might click on that one and go, I don't want that. I'm going to bin it. And do you remember what I did here with heart failure? You can tick whether or not you've done even more research in PubMed. And if you haven't, let's go back up to source. Or go externally, download your journals and upload them using the option here. So there we go. Remember, you can move stuff around. Hold the left button, so I could move heart disease into another section if I want to as well. But now I'm going to go to the review option. Have a little look what's been happening, shall we? So you can see I've got some kind of structure now with the title, my name, my first paragraph and my sub-paragraph, which I've cited. Then we've got arrhythmia, heart failure, and I can tick that in there and say, right, that's all done. I've done my research and I'm happy with that. Little button here, and you might want to add maybe a new section. So you can add a new section within here if you wanted to. Because you might want to work in linear format as well as visual. Scroll down and you think, well, I'm happy with that. See my other citation. Then go to publish. Oh, don't just pass this bit. Have a quick look. So there's 5 total snippets, but I've got 3 left to edit. So that's my edit. So I'm going to select edit. And we know I have, if I come down, 1, 2, 3. But I'm going to leave that for now. Sources. There's no source information missing. If there was, select fix. Tasks. There was one task I ticked, remember. Do more research on PubMed. And I've only used 441 words written. And if I select review, you can go back and just check that. As well, if you double tap it, you can bring it up and carry on working on that if you wish as well. Then the important bit, reference style. Now these use the built-in referencing system within Microsoft Word. Now if you look at my YouTube channel, I put underneath the link of this video where you can add your own references into Microsoft Word. They're XML files. There's a big folder list got my Dropbox you can download and have a go installing them. But the main ones you'll be using anyway is APA, Harvard. Bear in mind with Harvard there's over 160s there or more reference styles, different variations. And of course Oscola's not there for law, so it's something you can install manually hopefully. Select publish to Word. So hopefully we've brought all that information from brainstorming, using writing help to structure, concept, word, source. Save that to my download folder. And let's have a little look. See how it all comes out. Because you might want to use this in a different way. You might not want to do your full essay with it, but just break parts of it down. There's my information there. If I scroll down at the top, there's my citations at the bottom. And then you have your bibliography that you've used at the bottom there as well. So if I go to the references tab at the top and come up here, you can then change them through here, watch, as well. So that gives me the Harvard referencing system there. Now if you look here, you can see I've got two types of APA because I use that option to install a reference style that I wanted as well. So there it goes back to APA. And to get rid of the colours, no problem. Control A, Home tab, and then no colour. And it could be a good way for you just to structure, organise your work. Or you might want to write your complete essay. But it's just a really fast video tutorial. I've missed quite a few bits out, but it just gives you the basic concept of using and integrating mind mapping with Writing Helper. Thanks for watching.